Hi everyone, Editing Mona Lisa here. I'm coming on here really quick to tell you 3 things. 1, this is, as you can tell by the title, going to be a 2-part book haul. I had a lot of books. I didn't even go through all the books that I've bought, and I story told, chit-chatted, rambled, talked, bloopered a lot. So I just decided to break this into a 2-part video. 2, that means that I'm going to be putting out 2 videos next week. The second half of this book haul and a book tag. I was tagged in by Chaz over at Bookish Chaz. And 3, I put bloopers at the end of this video. And more than likely there's going to be bloopers at the end of the other video. Of the second half of the book haul. So if you like seeing bloopers, watch the video and get to the end to see the bloopers. Yeah. It was a long day. I'm so frustrated. I had an intro recorded, I was moving on to the book haul, and I deleted it all. I can't believe I did that. That was so stupid. Is this how I'm going to open my video? Yes. Yes, it is. Just, you know, for some comic relief, and so you can see my utter frustration and feel some sympathy for me. I can't believe I did that. That was so stupid. Anyway, I am Mona Lisa. Welcome to my channel, Mona Lisa Reads. I am so glad you're here, and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. So, without wasting any more of my time, let's get started. Okay, so little story time. I got these first 2 books at Book Warehouse. This Book Warehouse is an hour away from my home. I didn't mind though, because that's the area where I go and get my hair cut. Yes, I drive an hour to get my hair cut. Because as all you ladies know, when you find a good hairstylist, you stick with that person. You will go to the ends of the earth to get your hair cut by them. Because you don't know if you go into any other store that they're going to do a good job, or if they're going to make you coming out like Edward Scissorhands hair, like every, you know, you just go. So anyway, Book Warehouse. So excited to find it. Went into the store, got these couple books I'm going to show you. And that was beginning summer-ish time, and then I went back a few weeks ago because I got my hair cut again. They're converting it to one of those stupid calendar/game type whatever stores. Why? I now need to find a new bookstore in that area that I can go check out when I'm in town. So anyway, on to the books. First book, Granite Mountain. This is by Brendan McDonough, I believe is how you say his last name. Brendan was part of the Granite Mountain Hotshots based out of Prescott, Arizona. And in July of 2013, they were fighting a fire in Yarnell, Arizona. Conditions changed, and as Brandon was lookout, he didn't have time. The 19 other men on his crew didn't have time. And those 19 men unfortunately perished in a fire that just ran through the valley. This book is his story about how he became a hotshot, kind of that day, and I believe it also talks a little bit about life after the incident. And my parents, I lived in Arizona for 15 years. My parents still live in the Prescott area, and this was a huge story out there. A lot of stuff happened after this fire, and even to this day, the community still rallies around the families of those who were lost and around Brendan. And I was so excited to find this book. So I'm looking forward to reading it. Now, with that being said, not wanting to take away the seriousness of what happened, but I have a little story about this book. I was so excited to find it. I almost bought 2 copies, one for myself and one for my parents. And I was like, no, I'm not going to get 2 copies. I'm just going to get the one for Mom and Dad for Christmas, and then I can borrow when I go to town or something. And I was talking to my mom one day on the phone, and she was talking about how she went to one of those big stores, you know, where they sell things in bulk. and the book was there on sale. She goes, yeah, so I bought it for your dad. So it's now mine. I'm not giving it to my parents. I'm like, man, Mom, you ruined your Christmas present. She goes, what are you talking about? I bought a copy for you and Dad. So, oh well. So now I get to keep this book. And like I said, I'm excited to just hear Brendan's story and how being a hotshot shaped his life. And just remember the other 19 men who passed away and their families. I'm going to read this in July of next year. It will be the 10-year anniversary. So I think that's a good but simple way to remember these guys. And so, Granite Mountain. Next book, another story. Okay. Do you people recognize this name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a basketball player in the 80s. Why is this such a big deal to me? I grew up also in Southern California in the 80s, where you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Michael Cooper, Vlade, don't remember his name, I'll put the name on the screen, Pat Riley, oh gosh. And they had this huge rivalry back then in the 80s with the Boston Celtics with Kevin McHale and Larry Bird and all of them. And so when I was in the bookstore, I look up, and I'm 4'9", and I look up, and of course it's on the top shelf, so I can't even reach it. And it's the only copy, so it's even further back than if it was in the front. And I look up, and I'm like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Worrying about Mycroft and Sherlock Holmes? What craziness is this? I had no idea that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had written this book. I was so excited. And it ends up being, it's the second book in the series. They didn't have the first book, and there's a total of 3 so far that I'm working on getting. But I asked the guy working at the store, hey, can you get this down for me? And he's, oh yeah, sure, no problem. He gets it down for me. And I'm talking to him, I'm like, man, I didn't know that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote books, like, about, Sherlock. He said, oh yeah, I've read them, and they're really good, actually. I enjoyed them. I'm like, awesome. I said, I have to get this book. If I don't get it, my dad will kill me, because we were huge Lakers fans in my house growing up, and I'm so excited to find this book. And the guy goes, okay, I got interrupted. So anyways, the guy says, yeah, I was a Celtics fan. I really didn't like the Lakers or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I was like, sorry. I didn't know what to say. I came back with a really good thing, come back afterwards, but I don't remember what it was now, so it doesn't really matter. But I was super excited to find this book. And like I said, I'm working on finding the other 2. And he co-authors it with an Anna Waterhouse. So, yeah. It's Mycroft and Sherlock Holmes, and I think it's more like supernatural type thing going on here, from what I remember. Yes. And so I think it's going to be really interesting. I went and bought my dad the trilogy for his birthday. So, and my parents are moving to where I live, and that means that all of his books are coming, which means I'll be able to read them. So if I'm not able to buy the copies for myself anytime soon, then when my parents get here, I can borrow his copies and at least read them. So I'm super excited about those purchases right there. The next set of books the next 2 books come from a used bookstore. One of those where you can turn in books, get store credit, buy books for half price type deal. And I got this one actually for $1. It was in the dollar pocket, and there's my cat. Okay. So, like I was saying, I got the maid. She is a girl who kind of misses some social cues. Yet her grandmother helps her with those types of things, and then her grandmother passes away. So she's struggling. And in the home that she's a maid, she goes in and she finds somebody dead, and she becomes a prime suspect. And people that are in her life that are friends. It kind of says they are friends, but she didn't know they were friends. They come to her rescue and help her decipher the mystery. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm super excited to be reading this and eager to get it started. No idea when I'm going to start it, but for $1, I couldn't pass it up. Next book, I'm going to give a little teaser. This book has something to do with the series thing that I want to do. This book is a Robin Hood retelling, and Robin Hood is, I forget her name as well. I'm not going to remember. Isabel of Crickley's. Basically, it's a retelling / adaptation of Robin Hood, with Robin Hood being female with Isabella. I don't know what more to say about this, but yeah, here's a clue of, you know, this book has something to do with the little secret thingy bobbing around in my head. The next set of books also come from a used bookstore. This bookstore does take book donations, but no longer gives store credit. They are kind of resizing things in their store, making their book areas smaller, and they're doing more of those wine and paint type nights and arts and crafts types thing. I'm still going to go there because I think they're still going to have a really large section. Well, not really large, but a large section of books. So yeah, we'll see next time I go in. The first book is Nine Fox Gambit by Yoon Ha Lee. I actually saw this book in from Fina Reads traveling Sisterhood of the Traveling Book Box. I got it! Yay! She's done 2, and this was in her most recent one. And I think it was part cover that really grabbed my attention. It's just a lot of color going on, and like, what's the sea urchin thing doing in the sky? I don't know. This is, I do know, a science fiction book, and it's about Captain Kel Karras, and she disgraced herself for being unorthodox in her tactics, and to kind of save her career, she gets teamed up with what's his name? The undead tactician. I'm not even going to say his name. It's on the screen. Kudos to you if you can say it. Anyways, they're going to go to battle by retaking the Fortress of Scattered Needles, which I guess is the sea urchin thing. And she's kind of not sure about doing this because apparently this guy kind of went crazy in his first life, and he's killed and annihilated 2 armies, one of them being his own. So I can't explain why this caught my eye so much. I think it's the cover, and the story sounded interesting. So I had just seen the Sisterhood of the Traveling Box book box a week or 2 before I went to the store, and I found this, and I was like, okay, it's for $1, gotta get it. So I got it. Next book, The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes by Vincent Starrett? Not sure. I have only read The Hound of the Baskervilles, and that was back like 5th, 6th grade or something. I'm wanting to get back into reading Sherlock Holmes. I have another that's another Sherlock Holmes book I got for free off Facebook Marketplace. Another good place to go check out books. Sometimes people just give books away or give them away really cheaply. So I'm excited to read this book. I'm not sure if it's about Sherlock Holmes himself or it's a mystery or what, but I'm like, and it has pictures in it, so of like, let's see if I can get it going here, of different like pictures and drawings of Sherlock Holmes over the years. So maybe it's a book about how he's been portrayed over the years. I'm not sure, but that was $1, so why not? Next book is Jeeves and the Offing by P.G. Wodehouse. Pretty sure that's how you say his name. So, I mean, along the line, I gotta get one of these right somehow, right? So, Wodehouse. That's what we're going with. This is kind of different. It's an older book. Wodehouse was worked and lived in England, I believe, and I heard about Wodehouse primarily from Emma, the Bookish Princess. I will link her channel down below. She reads a lot of English authors, a lot of older books. She doesn't do fantasy. She doesn't really do sci-fi. She's done Dune, but I don't believe I've really seen anything else on her channel like that. She's different than a lot of the booktubers I follow, and I enjoy her stuff. And so she opens my eyes to a lot of books that I think I would enjoy. I just didn't know about before I met her. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to be, because he's from England and it's older, if it's going to be along the lines of an Agatha Christie type feel to it or not. So I'm excited to read this one. Next one, Mona Lisa, The Last Mona Lisa by Jonathan Santlafer. Don't know. The interesting thing about this book is, so as you can probably guess, Mona Lisa is not my real name. I'm just using it on this channel. One day I may share my real name. We'll see. I just feel safer using a different name right now, and there is a reason why I picked Mona Lisa. I may share that one day. Why I picked Mona Lisa is not a secret. It doesn't make sense to tell the story right now, seeing that I'm telling all these other stories in this video. But so when I chose the name of the channel, I started looking up for books about Mona Lisa with the name Mona Lisa in it, and this is actually one of the books I came across in Goodreads, and it's a mystery about the Mona Lisa going missing in 1911, I believe it was, and finding it. And so it's a mystery about finding Mona Lisa that was lost. So I want to do a whole series of books about Mona Lisa, the painting itself, and books with the name Mona Lisa in it. There's quite a few. There's like a mystery one where the woman's name is Mona Lisa, I believe. And obviously there's a lot about the painting going missing and it coming back, like finding it. So The Last Mona Lisa was one of the books I found at the store. So yeah. Another book that I found there was Escape on the Pearl. It's written by Mary K. Ricks. I'm just going to read the inside cover because I don't want to mess anything up. On the evening of April 15th, 1848, 77 slaves attempted one of history's most audacious escapes and put in motion a fiercely fought battle over slavery in America that would consume Congress, the streets of the Capitol, and the White House itself. Setting sail from Washington, D.C. on a schooner named the Pearl, the fugitives began a daring 225-mile journey to freedom in the North. Mary K. Ricks' unforgettable chronicle brings to life the unforgettable Underground Railroad's first. Mary Ricks' unforgettable chronicle brings to life the Underground Railroad's largest escape attempt, the seemingly immutable politics of slavery, and the individuals who struggled to end it. All the while, Ricks focuses her narrative on the intimate story of two young sisters who were on board the Pearl and sets their struggle for liberation against the powerful historical forces that would nearly tear the country apart. Escape on the Pearl reveals the incredible odyssey of those who were on board, including the remarkable lives of fugitives Mary and Emily Edmondson, the two sisters at the heart of the story, who would trade servitude in elite Washington homes for slave pens in 3 states. Through their efforts of the sisters' father and the northern conductor who helped organize the escape, an abolitionist outcry arose in the North, calling for the two girls to be rescued. Ultimately, Mary and Emily would go on to stand shoulder to shoulder with such abolitionist luminaries as Frederick Douglass and attend Oberlin College under the sponsorship of Harriet Beecher Stowe. I'm very intrigued. I've heard a little bit about this book. I've heard that it's good. Sorry, my cats decided to play. Um, the Civil War, slavery. I know that's a hot topic in this country. One I don't take lightly, and one that I want to be more educated on. I've done some reading on it, but of course, there's always more to be done. So I think this will be a good book. There's some pictures and stuff in here. I'm just kind of interested to hear about the pearl because I don't recall ever hearing about it in school or anything like that. So this should be an interesting, and I'm hoping a very educational read because it's things like this in history and all sorts of history that, sorry, that we need. I told you, this is just going to be one crazy video. I think we need to be paying attention to the mistakes that were made in the past and do all that we can to avoid making them in the future. And I think reading books like this and understanding how other people's lives were and how they were affected and how they made changes is an important thing to be reading and to try to be understanding and to be having conversations about. So that's another book. I have one more, and this book is so heavy. Holy cow, I forget how heavy it is. It's Women's Letters, America from the Revolutionary War to Present. It's edited by Lisa Grunwald and Stephen J. Adler. And on the front, I'm going to do a picture. You're looking at the picture now. It has a bunch of stamps on the front of Harriet Truman and Helen Keller and Patsy Cline, Grace Kelly, who else? Nellie Bly. So this book, it was on sale, and I was very interested in it. Okay, another cover by. I just saw the spine, and I was like, that's kind of cool spine. I looked to the front. I'm like, that's an amazing cover. So it's a very heavy book, and I'm excited to read it. It has like a whole index of like the different women and about themes. Like I'm looking, when I first looked, I'm like, it says women, abused by spouse in Afghanistan war, beauty pageants. So it doesn't just have an index of like women itself, but about specific topics. I'm trying to see how many pages are in this sucker. I mean, a lot of it's like information. There's a whole sources and stuff. It looks like it's 761 pages. It's a hardback, and it's a big chunker for real. It breaks it up into time frames. So like, I'm just making it up, but like 1881 to 1917. So it breaks it up into different time categories. And I want to start this book in November. I'm going to be doing a nonfiction November. And I think this would be a really good book to start out with. I'm definitely not going to read it all in 1 month. I'm eager to, I'm just going to heft it up on my shoulder. I'm eager to just kind of read about different women and their lives. And I think I'm going to read about women I've never heard about. And I'm going to want to find out more about them. So that's going to add to my TBR. But I just, it goes back to like I was saying about the previous book. We have to understand and know things from the past to understand what things were done well, what things were done wrong, what things were done horribly, and how injustices were fought in a healthy way, in a productive way. And I think I'm going to learn a lot from a lot of different women from this book. So that's my book haul from The Sunken Store. Hi everyone, Editing Mona Lisa here. I just wanted to pop on here real quick and say thank you for spending your time with me today. I know you can spend it lots of other ways. Watching other booktubers, cleaning house, going for a walk, climbing a tree, heck, reading a book. So I appreciate that you did that. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more content of mine in the future, I'd appreciate it if you give me a subscribe. And when we get to 100, I share my secret thing in my brain that I want to get out and share with you. So I'd really appreciate that. Let me know in the comments, since I'm new and I'm trying to figure out my whole thing, if you liked the story time, if I rambled too much in your opinion. I'm gonna do my own thing, but I kind of would like a little bit of feedback on that. And also I would love to know books that I showed you. What do you think? Have you read some? Are you interested in any of them? Are you surprised by the different variety of books that I buy and that I'm interested in? I'd really love to hear back from you. And now, without further ado, the bloopers. Enjoy. This video is just going to be a comedy of errors. So if you just want to see a comedy of errors, this is the video for you. Because the girl, I forget her name, she's kind of misses social Okay, so if I'm holding these books, here's my thing, right? Like, how do people hold things without this hand looking like a claw? Or like, I don't like it when like the names are covered up, and right now I feel like I shouldn't be covering up a face, so I'm not quite sure. Totally going in the bloopers. Okay, and then what angle do I hold? Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay. First book, 9 Fox Gambit by Yoon Ha Lee. Can I say that more Can I say that any more awkwardly? Oh my goodness! This is insanity. And books on